Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. The theme this month is will. And as Bob said, I'm a coach, so I have to start with a question. And the question, I want you to shout out the answers, and you at home, even if you're sitting all by yourself, I want you to do the same. So, first question, who are you? Who are you?
An expression of the divine.
Who are you?
A man. Fall.
Who are you?
I am that.
You are?
I am that.
I am that.
I am that I am.
I am love. Spirit having a human experience.
Yeah. I am as God created me.
I am as God created. Well,
evolving.
you are evolving. Okay, that's who you are.
Well, for now.
Okay, now I have a slightly different question. What are you? What are you?
I'm carbon.
What's that?
I'm carbon.
Carbon. Carbon.
Love.
Love.
Light.
Light. Love. Light.
Collection of personalities.
Collection of personalities. Right, it's an interesting difference between those two questions, isn't it? Because who is about our personality, but what are we? Right? We are, as our mission statement says, divine expressions. But that is what it is to be human. I hear a lot of talk in spiritual circles, sort of putting down the human, as if the human was like below us and we are the divine part and we need to rise above this being human, right? Is that what we're here for? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This has been my question since I think I was that tall, right? My whole life. What am I doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we here? Who are we? What are we? Right? I think I still wake up every morning and I look around and I go, oh, I'm still here. I guess there's more for me to learn. And we know from our principles, so here's your exam. You guys have been studying. What's our number one principle?
But there is only one source, one light, one presence throughout the universe, and that we are that.
That's right.
It is good.
There is only one source. Go Bob. Yes. And the second principle is, that is us. We are that. Right? God is the creative, loving force that runs in and through everything in the whole universe. Right? So as Paul Hasselbeck, a Unity writer, says, it is not the hot dog theory of spirituality, where the hot dog is the spiritual part and the bun is us. Right? We're not that. It is running in and through us. Always. So what are we here for? What are we here for? I think we're here to expand consciousness, to bring consciousness, to bring this divinity into this physical realm and see what's possible. What kind of world can we create if we come from that perspective? So you might have noticed over the last 16 months that we're living in interesting times. Anyone else notice that? Right? Some call it the Great Awakening. Some say we're moving from a 3D world into a 5D world. Some people say we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Some say we got Mayan calendar wrong. It wasn't 2012, it was 2021. Apparently the Mayans were dyslexic, and they mixed up the last two numbers, right? No matter, I don't know, I don't know what's going on. Like all of those, they all have the same flavor, and the same flavor is that of evolving consciousness. Right? And we are consciousness. So that's why I named my talk, It's Time to Grow Up. Because that is what I believe we are all being called to. To evolve our own consciousness, to evolve ourselves, so that we can evolve this planet. By the way, I think I realized that the last 16 months is our fault. What is our vision? We envision a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. That's what we're doing, right? We're just getting a little bit of help from this outside pressure, right? Which is getting closer and closer and closer. Anyone else notice that?
Yeah.
At the beginning it was like out there, and suddenly it was there, and here, and now it is here. It has arrived inside each one of us. So if you want to just put up the slide, our theme this month, it's probably just after that. That's going to be our meditation. And
Not seeing them.
where's Chad? Okay, Chad, he promised me my slides were going to be there. He said they were there. I did not double check. I trusted him.
Looking.
Okay, so keep looking. So let me tell you what our theme is. Our theme is the power of will this month. And the power of will is our ability to choose, to commit, and to be willing. To choose, to commit, and to be willing. So what does it mean to choose? What I'm going to suggest is that we need to choose our next level of consciousness. We choose who we are in each and every moment. Right? Everything we do, everything we don't do. We can choose patience. We can choose love. We can choose anger. And I think the next level of our consciousness is about being sovereign. And coincidentally, in January of 2020, at our White Stone ceremony, which is where we receive our word for the year, apparently it's my word for the next couple of years, because I received the word sovereign. And at that time, I didn't even know what that meant. So that's been my journey over the last year and a half, is to really dig into what does that mean? What does it mean to be sovereign? Well, the sovereign is the ruler. So to be sovereign is to be the ruler of ourselves. We rule our own lives. We rule our own kingdom. But we can only do that when we are in alignment. We can only do that when we're in a place of conscious choice. Right? So I'm guessing if there's no slide, then, oh, that's too bad. Okay, wow. Okay, luckily, you guys can all see it from here, right? Okay. So here's an interesting quote from our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore. To allow others to control you openly or according to conventionalities is to fail to fulfill God's plan in you. And of course, you cannot be happy or healthy. Let me read that again since you can't see it. To allow others to control you openly or according to conventionalities. So she wrote this 100 years ago, right? She was ahead of her time, let's just say that. She knew what sovereignty is about. She knew that this moment was coming. To allow others to control you openly or according to conventionalities. What would conventionalities be? Manipulation, coercion, telling you in order to be a good person, you have to do this. But what if this goes against your own knowing, your own truth, your own integrity? She goes on to say, happiness comes with the realization that you are expressing what God has implanted in you and that you are not in bondage to anyone. And I would say that's where fulfillment comes from too, right? Anybody got that itch that there's something missing? There's something missing. What is missing? What is missing? It is me. I am missing. If I'm not living in this place of truth and integrity within myself, if we are not doing that, we are in bondage to something else, right? It is the nature of the human spirit to be free. How can we explore and bring this divinity into this 3D field if we are not free to experience it? Freedom is the number one choice, right? Free will. And I love Anthony's song, of course. And the universe asked for your hand in this dance, but you can still choose to go your own way. Because we have that choice. We have that free will choice of what it is we want. So what helps us become that sovereign being within? Well, there's two things that stop it. One is fear. Fear, fear, fear. Fear takes us out of our alignment because it is the nature of the human nervous system. That when we are in fear, we look outside ourselves for safety. We abandon our own inner knowing. We abandon our own inner light, our own inner guidance to follow what somebody else says. And if they're really smart or have a really big position or really important in the world, we're more likely to follow what they say. Right? But every time we do that, so how does it feel when you want to say no to somebody, but the voice in your head says, oh, but your mother, you're so selfish, you should say yes. And then you say yes. Do you get that sinking feeling? You really wanted to say no. And then you start thinking about all the ways you can sabotage it and not do what you said you'd do. And have you ever been on the opposite side of that when somebody said yes when they didn't really mean it? You really wanted them to say yes, but you really know that wasn't their true, honest answer, right? So fear takes us out of our integrity, our truth, our sovereignty. The second thing is anything that takes us out of conscious choice. And there's one really big thing that takes us out of conscious choice. Any guesses?
Anger.
Well, anger's part of it. It's the big T word, trigger, right? what happens when we get triggered, right? We get that as Stig Taylor says, that whoosh feeling, right? You feel your whole body go, right? And then out comes the trigger, whatever it is. But here's the cool thing. Triggers are the way that we find our way back to the unhealed wounds. We don't know. We all have trauma and wounds that we are completely unaware of, except when we react to something that happens into our world. One second, Chad. We don't have any slides. Is it possible for you to do some magic and put those other slides?
Magic, me?
Yes, I know you're magical.
Somebody put a conflicted copy up on this, and someone got grab it. Yep.
Thank you. There we go. I knew Chad could do it. So yeah, so we have, right? We have these unhealed wounds, and we wouldn't know that they were there until somebody triggers you, or something triggers you from the outside, right? 16 months ago, I can tell you, I discovered a whole bunch of things that I didn't know existed within me. I was triggered up the yin-yang, and it's been a very interesting journey of going within to heal those places within me that I didn't know existed. So, here's the question. Whose life are you living? Are you living your life? Are you living your truth? Are you waiting for this to be over so that you can go and continue living your life? I got news for you. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We have fundamentally come to a fork in the road. That is the truth of where we are. So our power to choose, which you can see from our slide, is how we use our power of will. But we need to have that ability to have that conscious choice. So this is a journey. This is a journey of healing. This is a journey of discovering our truth. But we can also know that we use our will to activate the other powers. So when we're feeling doubtful, we can choose will. We can will ourselves to choose faith. When we're weak, we can choose strength. When we're in fear, we can choose love. So will is what activates all the 12 powers within us. I guess it would be 11 since will is one of them.
Forward what you need.
What's that?
Forward what you need.
Forward to you. Oh, yay! Perfect. Yes, we'll have that up there right now. Thank you so much. See, I knew he was magic. I knew he could do it. Okay, a few months ago, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody would have these moments. And I had this phrase over and over in my head. And I was like, wow, this is really super cool. Like, this is so awesome. And there's a part of me that said, okay, get up and write it down. And I thought, oh, no. I am not going to forget this. This is perfect. You know what happened in the morning. I was like, there was something really profound that happened last night in the middle of the night. I'm pretty sure of it. So I set my intention to remember what that was. And sure enough, it took a couple of days. I was kind of like, okay, I am holding space for this to return to me. And when it did, it came with an image. So the phrase was, Red Rover, we call Satan over. I know, doesn't that kind of give you the heebie-jeebies? Isn't that weird? And if you can put the, yay, it came. came with an image, and I, as of January 2020, apparently I'm a budding artist. Thank you. Apparently, releasing all these unhealed places within me has inspired an artistic talent to come forward. So I'm like, okay, what does this mean, right? And I thought back to my school days and playing Red Rover, which was my least favorite game on the playground. Because as you remember, in case you don't remember, I'll quickly give you the rules. So there's two teams that face each other. And one team, whoever's first, says Red Rover, we call whoever over. So we'll use me as an example. We call Susan over. And I was always called over. You know why I was called over? Because I couldn't break the chain, exactly. I was the littlest, tiniest, least athletic, most, at that time, pathetic, little wimp, okay? So everybody, they would always choose me, because if I couldn't break through the chain, then I had to join their team, and the team with the most people at the end would win, right? Conversely, when I was on the receiving team, guess where people would run? Yeah, exactly. They would run straight through my arm, and it would hurt, and it was not nice. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that I was ever even chosen to be on a team. But that's a whole other story. And so, as I'm contemplating this Red Rover, we call Satan over. What the heck? Like, what is that about? And then I realized that it had wisdom both for me individually and for the collective. That right now, on planet Earth, we are in a giant game of Red Rover. And the team love, represented by the three ladies there, it's all of us, it's the light workers, right? It's those of us who are awake, those of us who are willing to stand in love, those of us who know the truth of who we are and why we're here. The darkness comes to wake us up. What is the darkness? Well, individually, the darkness is our own shadow. It is those unhealed wounds. It is those triggers. It is those limiting beliefs. So what do we need to do individually? We need to hold the light, to stand in love, to call over our shadow, to call over the limiting beliefs, to call over the unhealed wounds, to know that that is what we need to transform, to fully be here, to fully be in our sovereign being, the being that we are meant to be. Right? As within, so without. As we are doing this individually, that's what it's going to take to shift the outside. And here's the really cool thing. When we invite the darkness over and it doesn't break through, what happens?
We get stronger.
It has to transform and join our team. Yay! It has to join team love. Right? So that's why it's so important that in this time we hold fast and true to ourselves, to know the importance of our freedom. Freedom must be claimed. It is not given. And there's a lot of lies going on out there. If only you do this, if only you do this, if only you do this, then you'll be free. Has any of that panned out just yet? Not so much. Anyone else beginning to lose hope that that's actually going to happen? So what do we need to do? We need to stand in love, to support one another, to hold each other, to see the divine. The strategy is to have us fighting each other. We as humanity need to come together as one, to honor and respect each of us as individual sovereign beings here on this planet to experience, to expand consciousness. That's what we're here for. We're not here to hide in fear. We're not here to coerce our friends and neighbors and family members. We all need to honor that choice within. There's a hopey prophecy about this time, and that there would be a bifurcation, and there's two roads that we can choose. One road leads to a world of love, freedom, and sovereignty. The other one leads to fear, authority, censorship, and AI. If you want to dig into this really deeply, yeah. What'd you say, Bob, about speaking truth? You will find that there are those out there who do not want humans to rise into the fullness of who we are, to live our divine selves on this planet. There is an agenda of control, and we can all feel it. And that's why we are all being asked to choose. Choose love, choose freedom, choose honoring. So what do you choose? What do you call over? What do you need? What support do you need to stand in the truth of who you are and just live from that place, no matter what? Because that's when the miracles show up. We can't see them till we step into that. Remember Vicky's talk a couple of weeks ago? Our mentor minister, Vicky Vanderhorst, said, standing on holy ground, what makes the ground holy? We do. That's what makes the ground holy. We do. We do. Okay, so let's take this into meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable. Anthony's going to lead us in.
Nothing that I need to say.
invite you to take a deep breath in and let it go. Taking another deep breath in, filling up your lungs. Letting it go. Bringing yourself present to this very moment. And I invite you to take your awareness to your heart. And imagine that you are now breathing in and out your heart chamber. And with each breath, you are becoming more and more present to yourself. With each breath, becoming more and more coherent and in alignment with your body, mind, soul, and spirit. I want you to imagine that you have roots growing from the soles of your feet down into Mother Earth. I want you to feel the love and support that she provides. She provides everything that we need to be who we are, to live as the divine being that we are in this 3D world. And with that strength, I invite you to imagine in your mind's eye that you are standing in the line on Team Love with the other light workers, the other light beings. Holding the line, holding the love. Knowing that you are enough. That no matter what, you choose love. You choose inner peace. You choose to honor. And invite you to see if something arises from your inner wisdom, something that you are ready to call over from the darkness. And I want you to imagine that as it comes towards you, your loving presence grows. And as it approaches you, it comes in this wounded part of you, this place within you that's hurting, that feels like it's not enough, that feels like it doesn't matter, it's not important, it has nothing to say. I want you just to imagine that you are wrapping arms of love around that part of you. not to change it, not to do anything different. But just to be that loving presence. If it seems like a lot, feel all the other light workers surrounding you with their love. Ask that heart what it needs. What support does it need? What is the gift that it brings you? Continue to feel the love from Mother Earth. Feel your strength. Feel your light. Yay!
Team love.
Team Love, and I am the leader of Team Love, and I welcome you all to my team. Taking a deep breath in, bringing yourself back present once again. And if that wasn't quite complete, making a commitment to yourself that you will return to whatever needs that loving attention that you can bring. Feeling your feet on the floor, your awareness back in this room once again.